Well, hello, and welcome. Today is March 19, 2025, which makes it our last day of winter. Tomorrow is the first day of spring, so I figure it's time for a garden tour. As you can see, things are starting to melt. It's a much more pleasant day than when I did this last year. Our first bed over here that we're looking at are concrete blocks being used as planters. Nothing has been set in here. It's basically just chop and drop. And I'm not sure what we're going to be putting in here because nothing grows well in these blocks. Partly because the elm roots invade them very quickly. We've got several elms all over the place here. And partly because the blocks themselves may be making our very alkaline soil even more alkaline. So we have to plan accordingly on this one. And then over here we have a bed that was resized last year, and this one is winter sown. It's got tall stuff like sunflowers, climbing stuff like peas, and a few other things, including some bush beans. Hopefully they have survived the winter. Once the snow is clear and things are starting to thaw out, I will remove the mulch. And then things should warm up a little bit faster, and hopefully things will start sprouting. Gotta watch my step here. And if I go across to, this is very slippery. Go across here. This is where we have the asparagus and some old strawberries. I don't expect them to do anything. Well, it depends on how wet things are this spring, but the moat forms around the garage over here, and so this area gets very wet. And what does survive, the deer eat. So we'll have to rethink where we need to plant asparagus someplace else. And just over there we have where the sunchokes are, and I expect them to have no problem coming up in the spring. And here we are coming up to our east garden beds, and we have this one over here, which was winter sown. So I'm actually thinking of shoveling the snow back onto the one side where it's melted away just to provide more moisture, but we'll see. This other one is prepped for planting, and at one end over here there are onions, which are seed onions. And then this next bed here, this is where we had the eggplant and hot peppers. We just did chop and drop for the fall, and they'll need some more work before we can plant it in the spring. Well, when things are thawed out enough. And then we have beside our compost ring the newest bed, which is a 4-foot square bed where we successfully grew Crespo squash and semi-successfully grew some green beans. Alright, here we're coming up to our main garden area, and we don't actually go into there this time of year. There's just too much snow. But at the far end there, we've got our sea buckthorn, our silver buffalo berry, some high bush cranberry. Coming up, we've got an opal plum coming, and a couple of haskap bushes that are going to be planted out there. Oh, Magda, hello. And then hopefully we've got the Trader mulberry bush that have survived. We'll find out soon enough. And so this area, our main garden area, we've got several beds that are pre-sown for the winter, and hopefully they survived. And with the high raised bed over there, I'm hoping that we'll be able to clamber our way through there and grab that cover and move it, where I plan to use it as a combination mini greenhouse over another bed and a barrier from the cats. We'll see where that's going to go later, if we can manage it. Okay, I have to carefully crunch my way through this area here. The snow is getting pretty soft, so I'm sinking a lot. Over here, where you have a large branch that has fallen down, this is where we sowed Western wildflower mix. And hopefully those survive the winter. And we'll just move along here, where you can see our emergency septic bypass. We had our ejector replaced in November, and then it froze. And there's nothing we can do about it until the ground thaws out enough, because it looks like it froze well below the normal depth. Hang on, just trying to not trip over this snow as I sink. Anyhow, this area here, here we have our Liberty apple tree, which I am hoping survived the winter. It was a mild winter overall, but we did have some polar vortexes with some more typical zone 3 cold temperatures, and this is a zone 4 apple tree, so we'll see. The rest of this area has tulips in it and some saffron crocuses, which got choked out last year and didn't produce. But, you know, who knows? Maybe they survived the winter. Hello, Rolando. Okay, I'm gonna make my way through the old kitchen garden now. And this area over here, we've got under the snow, the retaining wall made of old chimney blocks. There's mint in there, chives at the corner, and about half the blocks are open for planting in. And this bed over here, what I plan to do is remove this wonky log at the top that now is decorated by a Magda, and do wattle weave to make it a higher bed. And here's the wattle weave bed. We don't have anything pre-sown in here. However, there are the wild strawberries or whatever they are under these leaves, and there's some chamomile that probably seeded itself, and possibly some thyme. This bed here is the pre-sown one. It's basically mostly greens, and this is where I want to put that cover and use it as a put plastic on it to use as a greenhouse and to keep the cats out of there. And this little bed has nothing pre-sown in it, but it's ready to go. You can see our walking onions over there. And this is a little hard to walk through right now. Okay, so that was a very short tour because there's not much to show. We do have a lot of handsome boys that want attention here. Yeah, so that's our tour for March of 2025. We do have a lot of things that are pre-sown, and if the winter sowing works, we've got a good head start on the garden. If not, well, we have backup seeds and stuff like that that we can do. And we'll have a few things that I'm going to be starting indoors, and we'll see how things work out this year. It's going to be a very different growing year. But, well, we'll see how it goes.